Morning everyone and welcome back. So this morning we're paying a very special visit. So if you're interested, come along and join us. There's nothing quite like waking up to the sound of the sea. After a quick bite to eat, we were soon on our way, looking forward to the first adventure of the day. So, we've reached Culloden. We're about to visit the site of the battle. So, if you want to know a little bit more, come along with us.
My name is Denise. I will be showing you around today. The tour lasts about 45 minutes, which is about the same amount of time as the battle took. So the Battle of Culloden took place here on the 16th of April, 1746. On one side, we have the Jacobites, led by Charles Edward Stuart. You may know him better as Bonnie Prince Charlie. On the other side, we have the government army, led by William Augustus, also known as the Duke of Cumberland, and he is the son of the king. But to understand how they ended up here on a field in the Highlands, we actually have to go back to the year 1688. On the government's front line. Field of the English. They were buried here. Now I think it's quite poetic. It is also very wrong. So first of all, if we take the English, as I said, not just the English fighting on the government side. In fact, around a quarter of the regiments making up the British Army here at Culloden were Scottish regiments. And we also had Irish soldiers and some German soldiers here as well. Okay, so this is Leonach Cottage, built in the style of a traditional Highland farmhouse. So that roof there is made of heather. And I have to admit, this particular building was not here on the day of the battle, but it is modelled on one that was. And we know that a building in this area was used as a government field hospital. So the injured government troops could have been treated in something like this. Thank you so much for giving me your time and attention and for coming to visit us. It's really appreciated. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're still at Culloden, and we've just had the most amazing tour by a member of National Trust for Scotland staff. Fantastic. So if you come here, book on the guided tour. There's so much to learn, so very much recommended. Following the Glorious Revolution in 1688, the Stuart monarchy were exiled from British shores. In the years that followed, many wanted to see the Stuart monarchy restored to the throne. After exile, bonny Prince Charlie grew up in Rome, and he became known as the Young Pretender. Although the odds were against him in terms of firepower and men, he managed to gather significant support. He was reputedly very charismatic and persuasive. By the time battle commenced in 1746, the terrain at Culloden was boggy and treacherous. Completely outnumbered and unable to match the firepower of the government forces, the battle only lasted 45 minutes.
If you look behind me, I'll just pan round, there are red flags and blue flags in the distance. You probably won't be able to see them because you might be just too far away. The red flags are where the government forces was, and the blue flags are where the Jacobites were. Super atmospheric. The cairn behind me was erected by the people of Scotland in remembrance for the Highlanders, not the government forces, just the Highlanders, and for Scotland. Very atmospheric place, very personal. God bless them. So this says Stuarts of Appin here, but is there any graves underneath it, or any of the other clans? Cameron, Macintosh? There's none there, nothing. So the graves are everywhere and nobody knows where they really are. So these headstones here are a marker of respect. I think that's right to say, isn't it? A marker of respect for the men that fell for a ridiculous cause and a very sad cause. A doomed cause, but still they fought.
Right, so a little bit more of an insight into the National Trust for Scotland. So the actual site of Culloden where we are today is managed by the National Trust for Scotland. So we've just been told that if you go up to the desk today in the visitor centre and ask to join, they will not only refund your parking ticket today, but also your entry. So that's really good value for money. How much did we pay to come in, Doug? You remember? £18 each, was it? Something? Quite a bit.
No, it's about £12.
£12, so that's £24. Okay, so that will be refunded. But then also going forward, it'll be about £11 a month for joint membership, and that also gets you entry into numerous other historical sites managed by the National Trust of Scotland. And I think it's also free in England as well, isn't it?
I think it's for the UK as well.
Yeah, right, so that's really good value for money. So I'll pop a link in the description below. Anybody interested in that, you can get on board. And as an added bonus when you join, you even get given a member's passport, which can be stamped whenever you visit a National Trust for Scotland site.
As you can see, there is a blue flag behind me, and the blue flags stretch out all the way along here in a straight line, and this is where the Jacobites and the Scots were. So this is where my mum's family would have been. As I say, very emotional, very personal. If you have any Scots family or heritage or anything like that, you come here, you'll feel it.
But the ramifications of the Jacobite rebellion lasted years. Families were forced from their homes, and many suffered due to being forced either to live overseas or on poor land, resulting in severe hardship. The Scots language was banned, and many other terrible atrocities were also carried out. Right, good afternoon. And you find us in a rather breezy Nairn. So we're just about to explore the beach. So we'll bring you back in a bit. It will be just as windy down there, I'm sure. Welcome to Nairn Beach. It's a tad bracing today, but fine weather is fine weather. It's a good day for walking on the beach. So if you fancy it, come along for the journey. And as the summer sun decided to take a break, this is definitely a beach that we'll return to another day. There's a lot to see and do in the Black Isle, and as such we chose to be strategic about where we visited. We paid a whistle-stop visit to Inverness and took the opportunity to pick up a few bits and pieces. There's a good range of shops and supermarkets, so you should be able to find whatever you need. And just like that, it was time for us to return to our base at Rosemarkie. Another day and another adventure would soon be upon us. So we woke up to wet and dreary conditions indeed. Time to visit Baku's bakery for a lovely buttery croissant. Despite the weather, we decided to head out. Wet it might have been, but what a truly magical treat we were in for. Good afternoon everyone. So this is our first little jaunt out today, apart from doing a little bit of supermarket shopping. So we are based at Rosemarkie campsite, which is a caravan and camping club site, of which we are members. Yeah.
Down at the Clam.
Yeah. So we're just heading along the beach from the campsite to a place called Chanonry Point. Now, Chanonry Point is reputedly a really good place to spot dolphins. So an hour after low tide, the dolphins chase the fish in and feed, and they're really quite active. Now, of course, along with everything else, this is not always guaranteed. However, if you want to come and spot some dolphins, come with us. So this particular pod of bottlenose dolphins in the Moray Firth are the largest in the world. This is thought to be because they've successfully adapted to living in the North Sea and have built up extra layers of blubber. Some of the dolphins are thought to be as large as 4 metres long. Just as we were about to give up hope of seeing the dolphins, we spotted not 1 but 4 dorsal fins. The dolphins had arrived, and boy did they put on a show. It's incredible just how close to the shore they come. Dolphin watching can be a cold business, so do wrap up warm. And after that amazing little adventure, we were in need of warmth and comfort food. Coming up, the site boasts really good facilities. The toilets and showers are really clean, and the laundry area is superb. There's the usual water and waste disposal points too. We can't fault this campsite. It was great, just right for our stay. So next morning we left Rosemary behind and set a course for our next destination. Good morning everyone, and guess what? We've arrived at the top of Loch Ness and we're not alone. Look who's with us. Nessie himself. Come on Nessie, let's take you home. So we're just on the beach area at Loch Ness. It's rather pleasant, except there's a few midges, so just be warned if it's still, it's quite damp and warm like it is this morning, expect to share the beach with those unwelcome visitors. Just saying, I can feel some on my legs now. Ah, midges! There are toilet facilities here, plus the wild food truck which provides tempting refreshments. So welcome back everyone. We're just going on a little trek now. We're going to visit the Fairy Glen Falls, is it Doug?
I think so.
Fairy Glen Falls. So we've just seen some signposts. So if you want to come and have a look at the falls, follow us along and we'll bring you back in a bit. This magical 2-mile round-trip walk is part of an RSPB nature reserve. This is the place where you might spot a grey heron or even a buzzard. You never know your luck. Although this walk is only a short one, walking shoes or approach shoes are advised. Off in a little fishing place called Cromarty. We're just in the harbour area, but we've spotted something that's really quite interesting. So we're all familiar with something called a wind turbine, aren't we? Right, just wait till you see what I've got to show you in a minute. So here's some little known trivia. Port of Cromarty is the only port to boast the UK's first custom built floating offshore wind turbine integration and assembly facility. Now there's a mouthful. And I'm sure you'll agree, Cromarty is very pretty. It's peaceful and tranquil, and you can wander about at your own pace. So welcome back. So we've now left Cromarty behind and we're about to go on another waterfall walk. So we're heading for somewhere called Rogie Falls. So we'll bring you back in a bit. Check out the information board before you set out. That way you can choose a route which suits your needs. And we're now at Rogie Falls. So as you can hear, they're pretty incredible. So you've got a choice though when you get here. So if you want something a bit lighter, take the easier yellow and black route. If you want something a little bit more strenuous, take the blue and black. It's up to you. Do whatever you like. Here we are arriving in Dornoch, but more about that in the next episode. Now officially on the NC500, so we've reached our first park up for the night. We're just outside Dornoch and we're just on the very edge of Loch Fleet. I'm going to show you what it's like round here, so I'll maybe pop the what 3 words in the description, so if anybody wants to come and try this park up, you'd be very welcome. So Loch Fleet is actually a nature reserve. We were absolutely blown away at the wildlife. During the course of the evening, we saw harbour seals, sandpipers, curlews, grey herons and oyster catchers. We even spotted a nesting kestrel on nearby Skelbo Castle. and as the sun went down, it was time for bed. The following day would be a busy one indeed. Join us next time as we travel up the east coast of Scotland and across the north coast. See you soon. If you've liked our content, then please like and subscribe and hit that hype button.